Welcome to Wrestle-Gay-nia, your favorite queer wrestling recap show for Jet Space Magazine. I'm El Sanchez.
And I'm Val Nigro.
I love wrestling.
And I would rather read a nice book.
We watched Hell in a Cell.
And it was hellish.
Which is why we did that really fun hello thing at the beginning. Do you remember
Get
what
it?
Yeah. So we watched Hell in a Cell, the latest pay-per-view from WWE. I was okay with it.
We didn't like who won any of the matches.
Sure.
So there's that. That seems to be a pretty ingrained part of wrestling though. Just yelling at the TV.
Yes. And we should mention before we break into the matches that there are only 2 matches in the cell. The rest are just
hell.
Yeah. First match, we have tag teams, The New Day versus the Usos. New Day rocks still. I love New Day.
I love them. They're posy, they're fun, they play musical instruments.
Speaking of musical instruments, they probably had one of my favorite moments throughout this entire pay-per-view, which was the New Day beat the Usos with actual, literally with musical instruments they found underneath the ring.
Just under the ring. They were just all stashed under there, and then they took them out one by one and started hitting them with the cymbal, hitting them with the trombone. Yeah,
there was 2 trombones. There was a cymbal or gong or whatever, and there was a cowbell, which gave the announcers an excuse to make a bunch of terrible cowbell
because that's
jokes.
Still funny. When was that even on?
Never. But that happened. It was terrible. This was actually a weirdly kind of. It was an interesting kickoff because one, it was an actually pretty good match. It was in the cell, Hell in a Cell, and it actually was kind of. I don't know if it was kind of sexual.
Yeah, because at first it was just all fun and games, like beating each other with musical instruments. Sure. But then it just took a turn to essentially...
It felt kinky.
Yeah, kind of BDSM.
Right.
Usos
one of the Usos was pinned in the corner of the chain link. I mean, the steel mesh of the cage, they call it. But they was in the corner with these sticks, and I can't even describe it. He's pushed into the corner with these sticks, and then being beaten with other sticks.
And then everyone else was handcuffed to something and
people
getting
got handcuffed. Yeah, people, and then at some point Xavier Woods was handcuffed onto one of the banisters, one of the podium, corner of the ring, and he's getting beaten with wood sticks, and it was, and everybody's oh, it was really oh.
I wish I could say it was hot, but it was kind of more disturbing, maybe.
Right. Unfortunately, the best part about this match I was going to say is fortunately the Usos won. Boo, who cares? No, but the good thing about this match is the first time I recognized which Uso was which Uso.
It was a breakthrough for Elle.
Yeah, because there's Jimmy and Jay.
Jimmy and Jay. It's hard because they both start with a J, but
they wear the same outfits.
Yeah, but the key is that the one has a fringe shirt.
Yeah, Jay.
And then
Jimmy.
You still don't know.
Never mind. I still don't know.
They still don't know.
Next match is Rusev, the Bulgarian Brute, versus Randy, was it Viper?
Snake.
Not Jake the Snake. Randy the Viper Orton. Just I don't understand this beef. This is a weird beef that they built up recently, and I think these characters are very mismatched. The thing is, Randy Orton is mismatched with everyone that he has beef with. He had a long-standing beef with Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt, Rusev are all these characters who have great shticks that they do. They're great heels, and then Randy Orton is just this.
He's just
dude.
An MMA guy with a bunch of skull tattoos. They're not even snakes.
Not even snakes.
Randy, get a snake sleeve.
You need to get a snake tattoo, where the mouth is your hand, and it's all the way, and then you need to have a finishing move with that hand.
Yeah, and get
otherwise I don't care.
Snake fangs on your face.
Oh. Yeah, do something. I'm so bored. And I understand he's a legacy because his family comes from a line of wrestlers, the Ortons or whatever, but who cares? The best part about this match is Rusev, who's one of my favorite heels right now in the WWE. He's so great.
You love him because he looks like a lovable bear.
He does. He looks like the cutest gay bear of all time.
Yeah,
he's so cute.
He would do well in the bear community.
Oh yeah, he's like hot. He's hot. I could see it. He's like he's adorable and hot. And
he also has short, wet hair.
Yeah.
Very rare.
Yeah, he also does that for some reason. But the last, one of the last, I think he's SmackDown, he had this whole scene where they had a Rusev Day where someone came out and like another wrestler who I was trying to tell Val, I think his character is that he was like an opera singer. I don't really remember. Someone can correct me in the comments. I don't remember that guy's deal, but he sang a song for Rusev Day that was like Rusev Day, Rusev Day, or whatever.
It was very melodramatic.
Yeah, and then Randy Orton came out and beat him up, and so then Rusev wants revenge, and his whole thing is like, how dare you disrespect?
He interrupted the song.
Yeah, and he's like, how dare you disrespect Rusev Day? It was the greatest. But in this match, it was okay, but the thing that was the best is that when Rusev was losing or when he was winning, he would have a weird tantrum where he'd just go, Rusev! Yeah. And then he, at some point, beat down Randy Orton, and I think he also just yelled, Rusev Day!
He's cute. Yeah, he says his own name a lot, which is, for some reason, cute.
Love it. But like hell, real hell, and hell in this cell.
Hell not in a cell.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't in a cell.
Oh, right. This one wasn't in a cell, but it was hell because Randy Orton won. Next match is Ty Dillinger versus AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin. I always forget that's the post-apocalyptic wolf guy.
Right. And it was basically a three-way, but they can't call it that.
They won't call it that. They call it a triple threat. Which I think if it was all women, they would call it a three-way match.
Yeah, they'd probably call it a menage a trois.
They probably would. And
it'd be so hot.
Yeah, it'd definitely be hotter than this match was. Even though AJ Styles has beautiful hair.
He has beautiful hair. He comes across as the kind of guy who has a giant portrait of himself in his house, I think. Yeah. He definitely owns more than one shirt that says number one dad. I know he does. Yeah. He's like the coolest soccer mom that ever was. That's how I feel every time he comes out. He's like, I bet that we were having a discussion about, depending on where his kids live, is it cool that their dad is a wrestler? And he's from like Gainesville, Florida. So I bet I bet his kids are like celebrities and everyone thinks they're cool. Yeah. But maybe if they go to private school and all the other parents are like rocket scientists and senators.
Yeah, they're like, ugh, the Styles family. They're so, I don't know what.
We go deep with AJ Styles.
That's right. I just like to think about his personal life.
What is his life like? What are his kids like?
Yeah. This match was pretty boring, I'm gonna be honest. Even though on Ty Dillinger, he's they're trying to move him up right now in WWE. His whole shtick is, I'm a perfect 10. And he does this. And the thing is, he's not. He's not. His hair is definitely not. It's very confusing. Yeah. Probably I would give it a 3. Well, there is a segment of Breezango in this pay-per-view where they do one of their patented little promos, and in it they always have pictures of the other wrestlers on a corkboard behind them where they critique their style, because Breezango, as you know or don't know, are the fashion police characters, and when they come out in their cop outfits, they throw out tickets for fashion violations. They're my favorite. This literally makes no sense whatsoever, but stick with us. They're supposed to, anyway, in their little promo they had a thing of Ty Dillinger that said the hair is more like a 4 or something like that, because his steel is, he's a perfect 10. He lost. So the point is, he lost. AJ Styles has better style. Right, but he lost too. Who was the third person? Baron Corbin, the one that we care about the least, won, because this is what hell is like. Not in a cell, because this also is not in a cell. But it is hell, and the end of days, or whatever, appropriately, I guess. Maybe that's why, because that's what's-his-face's finisher move. Who cares? Also, Baron Corbin has a camel toe. He had this weird costuming situation where there's like and this is the pants he's worn the last couple times I've seen him. Where it's like a little... It's a line. It's like a zipper. It's a dark brown zipper down like a light brown, like crotchal thing. So it looks like various things. It looks like a literal camel toe, like a literal one. Like an actual camel's... Like an actual camel's foot. Like just hanging out. And then it also looks like maybe he has his like that like a pair of balls strapped up weird. I don't know. It's very distracting to me. But he won, and who cares?
The camel toe won.
The camel toe.
The camel toe was victorious.
You should have a finisher called the camel toe. There is a character as a finisher called the camel clutch, but we won't go.
I again think that if it was a female wrestler, they'd probably have them do it.
That's true. Next match is a women's match, finally. For the first time, well, not for the first time, but one of a few times, it's actually a one-on-one. It's just two ladies. It's not like
two ladies. Just lady wrestling, you laid each other.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is Charlotte Flair versus Natalya.
Your wife.
Yeah.
Is it wife? Well, I don't know if you guys
Charlotte Flair is my girlfriend.
Okay.
Nia Jax is my fiance. We're very serious. Nia and I are very serious.
You're wrestling poly. I love that.
Yeah. But Charlotte Flair and Natalya, two of my favorite heels in wrestling right now. Well, at least in the WWE. I love I've been told it's stupid that I love Charlotte Flair, but I love Charlotte Flair. I love her even more since she's leaned into the Ric Flair legacy. Before, they kind of tried to make, like years ago, they tried to make her sort of Charlotte, like her own entity. And now, because, especially because Ric Flair has been sick, they're really leaning into like her basically being his daughter, which she is actually in real life. It's not a storyline. And so she comes out with a version of his music. If you're familiar, he's Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, famous 80s wrestler. But she comes out and she like has this peacock robe, and she does a turn just like he used to in the 80s.
But then the whole thing is that he's like dying. He's on his deathbed. So they had this whole big emotional thing about that. And then Natalya busts out into the ring and is like, boo-hoo, your dad is dying. Who gives a fuck?
Which is great because Natalya's the greatest heel because Natalya is such a bitch. Like she just goes there. And also Natalya is another legacy. She's like the niece or cousin, I can't remember, of Bret Hart. So she's part of the Hart Foundation. And she wears an outfit similar. And then her opening thing has a big maple leaf because she's Canadian. And but not a nice Canadian, not a stereotypical Canadian.
Not one of those nice, nice ones.
She's a real asshole.
She also yells back at hecklers, which is I think why don't more wrestlers do that? I find that so funny.
As she'll have another wrestler down, for instance, in this match, Charlotte will have her pinned down and just be yelling at the people in the crowd. You like Charlotte? It's so great. I love it. But yeah, they showed a flashback of Charlotte coming out, not in character, like being herself, because her dad in real life is actually sick. He was in the hospital. Yeah. He almost died.
Also, I wish they would have live streamed him from his deathbed. I think that would have.
He's in recovery now. He took a selfie with Hootie from Hootie and the Blowfish on his Instagram.
Oh, so he's good.
Yeah, he's fine. Okay. And so, well, he's getting better, but he was really like on death's door, like for real life. And she came out and did a whole thank you to the fans. You know, your support has meant so much to my family. And literally it was like, and then Natalya comes out like, and I love how they use that real life shit that's happening. And Natalya, just like when Natalya, like I brought this up before, said something to Nikki Bella about her being barren. Yeah. It's like real life shit that she's doing.
She goes for the jugular.
So good. And this was a pretty good match. They kind of sort of tried to make Charlotte seem more like a hero, like the baby face. She's usually a heel, but maybe because of what's happening with her dad, I don't know. But Natalya was, of course, the evil one. But it was great. She was Natalya won. Well, by disqualification, she disqualified herself.
Oh yeah,
because Charlotte was winning, or was doing pretty good.
But she hit her with or what did she do? I can't remember.
Well, she injured her own knee when she did one of her patented like backflips.
Oh yeah, she just kept kicking Charlotte's knee. Like we were like, enough with the bad knee. We get it. Like she has a bad knee and it like a realistic looking limp.
Yeah. It was intense. And then Charlotte was kind of getting a one up on her, and then Natalya grabbed a chair and started beating her with in the knee with the chair, and she disqualified herself. So she maintained her.
Why was that chair beating DQ?
I think it's because it was a different rule of that match. I don't know. Next match is Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler. Bobby Roode, of course, being glorious. It was great. I just like their intros.
Yeah.
For a while, Dolph Ziggler has been doing, he's heel now. He might have been heel for a while. I don't know. He's doing this thing where he does other wrestlers' intros. So for a while, he was like on SmackDown, he was doing like, he did one of The Undertaker, he did Ultimate Warrior, Bayley, a couple of different people. And so, you know, everyone is expecting him to do another person's intro. But what he did was he started his intro and then he cut it.
He just turned it off.
And then he walked out to silence and darkness. And that was supposed to be a statement about how he's so cool.
So intimidating.
Yeah,
I think he should do the whole match as someone else.
Yeah, that would be more interesting.
Even more fun.
That would be more interesting.
And just make fun of them the whole time.
Yeah.
That's what I would do if I was wrestling.
Yeah. And this match was, it was okay. Bobby Roode won, which was the only thing I was excited about because it's one of the first times I was excited that someone won other than Natalya. So
I guess he had Jesus on his side.
Yeah. Yeah. Or some kind of vague cult religious thing.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But either way, glorious. He won. It was glorious.
It was glorious.
Yeah. Final match of the night, the big title match, was they brought back the Cell. Cell's back. The Hell in the Cell match was Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon, which they're trying to recreate the magic of WrestleMania 32 last year, in which Shane McMahon fought The Undertaker in the Cell, and he threw himself off the top of the Cell and hurt himself real bad because he landed in a table. Guess what happened this time?
You'll be shocked to find out.
The same thing! The same thing!
Whoa!
We're like, Shane O'Mac, what are you doing on top of the Cell?
I just love that Shane McMahon he's dressed like a Little League coach.
Yeah. His outfit reminded me of two things: the outfit your dad wears to return videotapes, and also like something that like your dad would wear to go play like basketball with his friends.
Yeah, because he's wearing like cool sneakers and like dad jeans. And
one of those like baseball jersey type tops. Yeah,
and then it's weird because then Kevin Owens it was almost like this kid, this like angry kid. He looks like the angry kid in class that farts a lot. Then he's going up against the dad coach.
Yeah.
It was very odd dynamic.
The whole match looks like your older brother got in a fight with your dad at a barbecue and they're ruining it, and you're just like, you guys, I hate when you drink.
I hate when you do Hell in a Cell.
That's so embarrassing.
Always ruins the 4th of July.
Yeah, that's what it was like. So yeah, it was pretty interesting. I mean, it got pretty harsh, right? They threw each other on top of the Cell a bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was really reminiscent, honestly, of the other Shane
There's
McMahon
just a lot of will they or won't they? Like, are they going to fall off the friggin' thing or not?
Right. And there was a time that it looked like Kevin Owens was going to jump down from the top of the Cell onto Shane McMahon, and he chose not to, I believe. And then there was another. It just. What ended up, but Shane McMahon did it. Shane McMahon did his famous jump onto, luckily this time, a foam booth instead of the fold-out table he fell on last year.
That was key.
And so he turns out is okay, but they did have to bring out a stretcher.
Yeah, but at the last second, that other guy pulled Kevin Owens out of the way because I wanted Shane McMahon to fall onto Kevin Owens.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. What happened was
his eyeballs would have like popped out of his head if that happened.
Yeah, like Shane McMahon was jumping onto Kevin Owens, who was on the booth, and then Sami Zayn
came out of nowhere,
pulls Kevin Owens to safety. Shane McMahon falls, breaks foam booth. Stretcher comes out. Sami Zayn suddenly the announcers,
the EMTs aside.
Oh yeah, the announcers suddenly recognize. Oh, it's Sami Zayn. What's he doing here?
Whoa!
And then EMTs taking care of Shane. Sami Zayn goes over, throws Kevin Owens on top of Shane.
Just like plops him on top of Shane.
Grabs like a ref and is like, do the countdown.
He throws the ref down and is like, do the count.
Yeah, and then he does the count, and then I guess Kevin Owens wins and then the camera pans into Sami Zayn, and we're supposed to be like, oh, has he turned heel? Which is like, who gives a shit? Like forever.
Are you sure you didn't actually say that phrase?
What?
At the time.
Who turns heel?
Is he turning heel?
I did actually.
They did.
I did actually get surprised. But the thing is, his character is so family-friendly ska guy. He's literally a ska guy.
He's a ska guy.
Yeah, he's literally like, oh, skanking out. No, if he skanked out in the ring, that'd actually be cool. But he's like a ska dude. I don't know how to describe him beyond that. He's a nice guy, and he used to be friends with Kevin before Kevin lost it. So now I guess, is he evil like Kevin, or I don't know. Such an I'm so disinterested in this.
Yeah. So anyway, so Shane McMahon,
still alive.
He's alive. May or may not have fractured some ribs.
Is 47. We found out.
It's going to take him 2 months to recover from this. But
I thought he was like much older, and I am glad that he's only 47. So he'll heal up fine.
Yeah, he'll bounce back in six
till next Hell in a Cell when he throws himself again to recreate this.
And
more
we'll be there to make fun of it again.
Yeah. So every episode, I give Val some homework to answer a question for you, the viewer, that Val obviously has the answer to as someone who knows a lot about wrestling. So the question this time is, what religion is Bobby Roode the glorious pastor or leader of? And Val, what say you?
I'm thinking Scientology. Yeah, obviously. I think that'd be a great match for pro wrestling. Yeah. I am sure some of them are already in it.
Yeah.
Also, I Googled WWE Scientology just to see if maybe anyone already was a Scientologist, and it doesn't seem like that is anyone's like character arc or stuff like that. But there's a whole huge, you're gonna love this, there's a huge Reddit about how people are lobbying that John Cena should be the Scientologist, and then they can call it Cenatology.
Oh, that's actually right.
Do you love that? That's right. So I'm just saying, Bobby Roode could be the pastor, and John Cena could be
he could be the Tom Cruise,
or the Will Smith, or the what?
John, what were the John Travolta? Really, honestly, yeah. My conspiracy theory this episode is, which I think is actually a real deep.
It's real. Unlike, that's what everyone says about every conspiracy theory.
But this one's
actually real.
It's kind of deep. It's kind of serious. I think so. Rusev used to be promoted as like a Russian heel, like a Russian villain, and they would have Russian flags and stuff. And Lana, his wife, would dedicate his victories to like Putin and things like that. And then they changed that, and now he's specifically Bulgarian, and they show the Bulgarian flag, and they don't mention Putin anymore and stuff like that. And they changed the name to the Bulgarian Brute. I think this is because Vince McMahon is friends with Putin, and I think that's 100% real because one, I think that Donald Trump, is like friends with Putin, and Putin or Donald Trump and Vince McMahon are super friendly because Donald Trump is like literally in the WWE Hall of Fame, I'm pretty sure. And he like also has appeared on WWE a bunch of times. Also, Linda McMahon is in Trump's presidential cabinet. She's like a member of like some business bureau or something. I don't know. I don't follow politics. The point is, not Trump's politics anyways, but the point is that this is why I think they had to stop making fun of, like, make a Russian villain and, like, leave Putin out of it, because Vince McMahon is a traitor to America. Not that there's anything wrong with being Russian,
and
honestly.
And a Scientologist, probably.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being Russian, but Putin, I think it's because of Putin, and that freaks me out. And I think that's why they stopped doing communist Russian villain characters. Not that those are good anyway. We probably shouldn't do those because they're obviously offensive to Russian people, but still. But specifically the Putin stuff makes me uncomfortable. Because although we love Russia, fuck Putin.
Yeah.
The guy sucks.
And you know what? They kept the alliteration. Bulgarian Brute.
Yeah.
Rusev the Russian.
Yeah. So shame on you, Vince McMahon. But good on you not making fun of Russians. But shame on you.
Good luck with your recovery from your fractured rib.
No, that's his son.
Oh. Leave that in.
New conspiracy theory. Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon are the same person this whole time. And Stephanie McMahon. There's only one McMahon, and that McMahon portrays all the McMahons.
One really important word.
That's the real conspiracy theory.
Thanks for tuning in to Wrestle-Gay-nia. And if you love our banter and fun dynamic, be sure to like, share, and subscribe.
All those things. And, feel free to write in the comments things that we got wrong. I can't promise you will respond to your comments, but, share your thoughts and your feelings. And be sure to tune in next time where we do a recap of TLC, which is the next pay-per-view, which stands for Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. I'm so excited. It's very literal to what the title is. So it's going to be great. And Val's excited too.
Pumped.
I've been El Sanchez.
And I've been Val Nigro.
This has been Wrestle-Gay-nia with Jet Space Magazine. Thanks for watching.
Bye.